yeah, no, if you ever wanted to learn what a fighting game is like to master, Skullgirls would definitively be the easiest.
Let's
Why don't you go to that giant arcade? But yeah, Space Marine, I was saying earlier. Space Marine is a character action game, but, like, its unique thing is that you are this massive demigod of war. And, like, that's something that makes itself known in every aspect of gameplay. For example, you can literally run full sprint, hit an enemy, and they will die from the impact.
Yeah.
Because you're a 2-ton war machine that collided with fleshy organism. Like, there's actually, like, straight up regular... Oh, there's another one of the... They're straight up fleshy human enemies, and if you collide with them, they will just pancake against you and be gone.
Yeah, yeah.
The orcs will be sent flying and will sometimes just disintegrate. The Gretchens are trampled underfoot with no fanfare. Like, and it feels good to do it. Like, I cannot describe to you how good of a thing it is where it's like, I'm in an action game and I'm like, I need to tactically reposition, and you fucks can't stop me. And then you just blow through, and also you use, like, a lot of gunplay, actually, which is kind of absent from the rest of the genre. Like, you don't...
Yeah, definitely not, no.
Like, Bayonetta and Devil May Cry had...
But it's not gunplay.
Not gunplay. You had guns.
Yeah.
The difference being that in Space Marine, you could totally solve fights with straight-up gun battles. But what was funny is that, what baffled a lot of people was there was straight-up no, cover mechanic. And everyone's like, why isn't there a cover mechanic? And the developers are just like, why would a Space Marine take cover? You're wearing a tank.
Yeah, well, they can even just rebuttal without even getting into the lore of the game. That's just not what we want to make.
Yeah. And I mean, like...
Yeah, that's probably the best response to any kind of criticism. That's kind of like asking why...
It's not the genre.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, a lot of people, like... It was kind of funny, because a lot of people who didn't know Warhammer just thought it was a ripoff of Gears of War.
Oh,
and that was one of the biggest one of the biggest hurdles when the game came out, was everyone's like, oh, this is just Gears of War. You're just humans in power armor fighting ugly, like, you know, goblinoids. And, like, all the 40k fans were like, no.
Do you think that's something to do with the poor marketing, perhaps?
Well, I mean, 40k, it's a big game in a niche culture.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, it's kind of like... Oh,
like, anyone who does tabletop knows 40k, but no one who doesn't do tabletop would. Also, I think you gotta talk to that, like, badly rendered gator back there, but...
I think you're right, actually, yeah. Yeah, let's do that. That seems like a fun thing to do in this game.
Anyway, to summarize, as long as your game doesn't feel like you're... Like, as long as your game... I would say, okay, for a game to be unique, as long as it doesn't... I'm not playing it and I don't say, oh, this is just X with another feature. Like, and I don't mean, like, this is just the genre with another feature. I mean, like, if I'm playing it and I'm like, this is, for example, because we're doing this is just Banjo and Kazooie with a new feature.
Yeah.
As opposed to me saying, this is a Collect-a-Thon with these features.
Well, to be fair, this game is basically Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
And that's basically it.
Like, A Hat in Time presents itself as Banjo-Kazooie with stuff, but then you play it and you're like, this is unique. This does its own thing. Like, it's a Collect-a-Thon, which Banjo-Kazooie, you know, created.
Yeah, but they want to evoke a feeling.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
they invoked the feeling of Collect-a-Thons on the N64, but, like, A Hat in Time, after having played it, I will definitively say, actually feels like its own thing. Like, it's not...
Yeah.
It's not weighed down by the ghosts of its genre.
Well, I was gonna say, playing this game, I feel like this game is weighed down by nostalgia, and like you just aptly said, the ghost of its own genre. Like, this to me feels... Like, obviously it controls better. Like, I'm gonna be blunt, I don't like the N64 controller, but I feel that this game is basically Banjo-Kazooie if it was literally made today. This is
I would
what
stop
it would feel
so you
like.
could don't... Alright.
I'm just walking around because I am getting very bored of this game.
Yeah, so you're actually hitting a fun ceiling.
Yeah, well, I feel like I've collected all the obvious things. Now to do some deep exploration, I just don't think I care. Like, is that...
That's
like, I don't
fair.
know, like, you're watching this game. What's your impression?
I mean, it's fun to watch. Like, it's colorful.
I guess. Like, okay, here's the thing: it's almost like kind of like the kids' cartoon mentality of like, oh, it's just
Yeah.
background noise. It's
Like, I was having a fun conversation, and like this game was pretty, and I had no objective reason not to keep looking at it.
I was gonna say this game is kind of a conversation piece, is it not?
Yeah.
It kind of plays into like, well, where's nostalgia cross the line? Is nostalgia even a good thing? I think nostalgia is kind of dumb, quite frankly. I've always
I think there's nothing wrong with like harking back to certain things, but I mean, like this game there's a difference. There's a limit. Like having some elements of the old is different than being like, this is just a modern X.
Yeah.
Straight up talk to Duke, man.
Yeah, I just want to see if I can jump across that bit first.
I didn't think that was the case.
Yeah, no.
Good day, strapping adventurers.
Well, this game, again, it's like, you know, for example, I love Mario 64. It's probably one of my favorite games I think holds up from the era.
Yeah.
But if someone made Mario 64 again, would I want it? I don't really know.
And I mean, like, the other Mario games that have come since 64 have all been like it, but they felt like their own thing. Like,
well, I'd say Odyssey probably being the closest.
I don't know, have you actually played it? Like,
No, I really want it, but just looking at it, I'm like, this game reminds me the most. Like, obviously, it's way more shticks to it, but I'm thinking, like...
Well, I don't even mean like that. Like, you can feel there's some, like, difference to it.
But here's the thing. Like, Mario Sunshine, again, one of my favorite games of all time, had this thing where the game didn't totally feel like Mario 64 because the way you maneuver the world was unlike that game in so many ways.
I think you're supposed to eat those things and you spit snowballs, would be my best guess here.
Yeah, but every time I try, it looks like you can't really
Talk to him,
interact with
see
those.
if maybe we weren't paying attention.
But I just don't know if I care.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, the way you interacted with the world in Sunshine, though, like, it was different than the way you interacted in Mario 64, and it's
Mario
different
64, you didn't interact with the world, you moved in it.
I mean, you had some interaction with it. You physically beat it up in a lot of cases.
In a very superficial way, yes, but not
I
in
mean-
a very meaningful kind of way.
Well, what do you mean? Well,
Like, a lot of the things about Mario 64 was you are running around this world and it's fun to maneuver this world. You're not really doing much with the world. And I don't think that's a problem with the game.
there was
I
that
think
one
it's
world
just-
where you kept lowering and raising the water level. That one,
I hardly-
directly...
But the world itself is set in stone. Like,
Yeah.
you're basically playing with mechanics that you're being allowed to play with. Whereas Mario Sunshine, the way you maneuvered that world, you had to use the ancillary tool being Flood. You can't just hop around like you could in Mario 64. And I feel like, from what I've seen at least, Odyssey invokes a little bit of that, where it's like, the world is made for you to move around in fluidly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will say that, like, the shit you can do with Cappy gets to nearly Flood levels.
Yeah.
Like, you could, like, Cappy is by all means a really great auxiliary tool for navigating this nightmare realm they've presented.
Well,
for
just even seeing like the footage of it and like how people have like found all those like little ways to maneuver around the world, I think it's really interesting.
Those fucking like million-mile jumps are the most like impressive and like I can't believe you've taken the time to master this. Things I've seen in a while. Like,
you know, it kind of reminds me actually of Super Smash Bros. Melee.
oh fuck.
Where people dug into the game's mechanics way more than the
Developers ever
intended.
wanted you
yeah,
to.
big time.
I find it funny how, like, Sakurai seems to specifically spite those people by making Brawl and 4 as far from them as possible.
Yeah.
Oh man, I will say,
it's weird, but
I've actually, so recently there's been a leak and we're supposed to find out if it's true or not. Gosh, I think Wednesday or Thursday of this week. I'm not going to give a specific date for what it is, just to not date the video too badly, but for those of you who want to know, this is being filmed before the Nintendo Direct, the first Nintendo Direct of 2018.
oh, I didn't catch one of those. What's the rumor?
So, it's 2 hours. That much has been confirmed by Nintendo itself. It's like 2 hours, and it's game announcements. Pure
Oh, cool.
game announcements, and partial talk about how the online subscription service is going to work.
Yeah, they need to address that. That's good.
Well, here's what we do know. It's $20 a month. Or $20 a year.
No, it's not even that. I'm saying like they have to address it. Like they have to like really give us something to dig into.
So they've been going back and forth with what. So apparently one of the things they were going to allow is it was going to instead of doing the you buy games for the retro console. What was that called?
Virtual console?
Yeah, instead of buying games for the virtual console, apparently there was going to be like every month X games would be in it, and if you have the online subscription, you got to play the games that were in it, and then they got a lot of flack for that.
Remember that, yeah.
And apparently they were waffling on it, and now the present thought is that they were like, alright, fuck it. It's going to have a constant set of games. Some are going to shift in and out, but it's mostly going to be just a big library that the subscription allows you for. And
So
like,
almost basically Netflix.
kind of. It's going to be like Netflix for old games. Which, of course, the
Yeah.
server cost for that would be pretty low because those old games are like...
Well, they're like only a couple megabytes if even.
Yeah, like you could put a huge library of NES games on a flash stick, like a 2 gig flash stick.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Like, speculation here. There's going to be some very, very, very obvious NES games. Like, here's what I'm thinking, right?
Like the Super Mario
We're
Bros. Is
talking
probably
Super
going to be there
Marios,
forever.
Probably OG Metroid, maybe Kid Icarus if they want to, get a little bit more weird.
I would
with
say
it,
like
or
some
Earthbound.
I would say some SNES games would also be like permanent fixtures. Like Super Metroid, if it's not a permanent fixture, I'd be surprised.
Actually, I wouldn't be, and here's why. Because I feel like nowadays people don't feel like it's being... People feel that like, NES games are so primitive they don't even want to pay for them. But Super Nintendo games are not primitive enough for people do feel like they should be paying for them. I feel like...
No, because I think
I would much rather pay $5 for Super Metroid than any money for OG Metroid. Because okay, first of all, I don't like the original Metroid, quite honestly, but I'm just saying, like, Super Metroid is just so much more advanced a game. I feel like I'm not wasting my money on that game, whereas, like, original Metroid,
yeah, but I mean,
feel like I would be wasting my time.
They have been saying that this virtual console that they're going to do will include SNES games anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say eventually, like, it'll get to that point where NES games people don't want to pay for them anymore. I think right now they could probably get the best of both worlds. And
well, in any case, like,
way.
we'll know more details when that gets announced. A bunch of the leaks that were said to be talked about for this, and, like, these are the same people who told us ahead of time that Doom and a couple of the other weird ones were coming, so they probably know what they're on about. GTA 5.
I wouldn't be that surprised. The game is like 4 years old. I'd be surprised if the console couldn't handle like at least a PS3, Xbox 360 comparable version.
So GTA 5 was one of the leaks.
I could believe that.
Another Zelda game in the works because Breath of the Wild sold gangbusters.
Too soon? I'm gonna call it now. That might be too soon, depending on when it comes out.
It's gonna probably not come out for like 4 years.
To announce it now, I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, what else?
Smash Bros. Like a new Smash Bros. is supposed to be announced.
I think I'm also too soon.
I don't know.
I don't think Smash Bros. Need to come out very often because I just don't think
a console is about right.
They could probably get away with just not releasing one ever again. Or
I mean,
at least
Sakurai would probably pervert.
Because
Sakurai famously doesn't want to do more, but he doesn't want anyone else to do them. So.
I also just haven't really had much pleasure from a Smash Bros. Game since Melee, so I
don't know. I really liked 4.
I played Brawl Online quite a bit when it first came out, but in retrospect, I don't ever go back to it anymore.
Did you ever play 4?
I did. I couldn't get into it. I appreciate it for what it is. I don't think it's a bad game by any stretch. It's just not what I wanted. Which was basically more of the same, but tweaked enough where I was like, I don't care anymore.
What was I going to say? So yeah, those are 2 of the leaks. I'm trying to think. What were some of the other leaks?
I would like to see Metroid Prime 4 footage.
Yeah, they're supposed to be talking more about...
they should at least talk about it.
It's supposed to be coming out in 2018.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. What else?
I'm trying to think. Honestly. I think there was talk of like either a actual new Star Fox game, like actually new story Star Fox game.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, because like the last Star Fox game, which, by the way, I actually liked. Star Fox Zero was good.
That's a fairly unpopular opinion you have.
Yeah, I know. I didn't mind it. I don't know why. Everyone was saying like they couldn't wrap their head around the controls.
No, I think people wrapped their head around the controls, but they hated what the controls were. Because let's be honest, the game's not exactly...
No, it's not perfect.
Science.
It's not hard.
Well, I was just going to say the control scheme isn't rocket science. I just don't think it's what people
You want to leave this level and see if we can't find some better place? Because the fucking...
I'll let you take over.
Because the Snake Man said he was going to give us a new move. I just want to like stretch out the next 5 minutes-ish. So... what was it? A new F-Zero.
Ooh, now the world's ready for that one. That's a game with this we need a new F-Zero.
We haven't had a new F-Zero since fucking GameCube.
I was gonna say the GameCube one's the last one that I can remember.
Yeah. So new F-Zero, an actual new Star Fox game, like
as
new
not a
storyline.
remake of 64.
Yes, because as I was saying, Zero was a remake for.
Well, it's more of a reimagining. I guess
Yeah.
is a better way of putting it.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
they
it's-
did add like brand new levels and new story, so I guess it's like I don't know, how would you call that? A remake? An
I call it
actual
reimagining.
remake?
Yeah, that's fair. I say
Like
reimagining
not
because
a
it's
not
different
a,
enough.
yeah. I would say that if you do a game that's like a faithful redo, that's a remaster.
Right.
If you do a game that's a completely new thing, or if you take like anyway, you know what I mean. So those are some of the rumors I remember. Some other stuff's getting ported to the Switch, which is good because
Like from
anything,
the last console?
PS4 generation stuff coming to the Switch.
Oh, cool, cool.
There's thoughts that they're gonna bring Xenogears 1 to the Switch, which is fine by me because Xenogears 1 is an excellent game. Have you played it or no?
No, I'd like to, though.
I have it on the Wii U. So the game hypes up the giant robots a lot, and I can't blame them because they're hype. But you have to do a sequence of quests to get them. Not a word of lie, 40 hours nearly.
That's a lot. That's a lot to ask.
The game itself is like 100.
Yeah, okay.
It is by no stretch of the imagination a big ass game.
So anyway, Xenoblade 1.
Blade or Gear? I get them constantly confused.
I'm pretty sure it's Xenoblade.
Whatever one recently came out with a sequel, the
Pretty sure
original
it's
is.
Xenoblade.
Yeah.
Wait, is there a game called
Is that
Xenogear?
fucking SpongeBob's mom?
Kind of, yeah.
What can I get? Oh, it's a refrigerator. That's
Oh, I did not. It looked like a sponge or a piece
one
of cheese.
tonic. Oh. Yeah, friendly colleagues. Game modifying tonic. Huh. Wow, straight up cheats.
Oh, wow.
Fair enough. Ow. I apologize, folks. I actually haven't been playing this whole time, so, you know. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Where did that fucking snake go?
Oh, Trevor the Trouser Snake?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what else? You got some
Yeah,
some usual suspects here.
Your usual suspects. A couple... I can't think of them at the moment, but there's a couple of games that were on the PS4 and the Xbox One that are getting ported over.
Confirmed or just rumored?
Rumored. Because we don't know anything about...
Oh, that's true. We wouldn't know until the Direct, yeah.
We won't know until, God, I want to say it's Thursday or Friday. Can I jump on them? I want to know.
No, I don't think so.
Nope. There you go. But yeah, I have to look back at the leak, but there was a couple of them that were like, you know, smash hits of like, yeah, alright, yeah. Like the ones I've already listed off are games I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'm good with these so far. Where the fuck did that snake go?
Good question. I wonder if he moves around as you progress through the game.
Oh, there's co-op.
Really?
You want to try it?
No. I almost... I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm
How would
only
you
like-
even play this game co-op anyways? Would one be Yuka, one would be Laylee?
Either that or like just double it up and say fuck it.
I feel like that'd be cacophony on screen.
Yeah, probably would. That's why I think that's what they're gonna do, because that would be the worst possible decision. I wonder if he's outside. I just want to see, and then we'll call it a quit.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm over it.
Yeah, I have to look up that leak again, but yeah, no. A bunch of the stuff though was just that kind of like pseudo obvious stuff where you're like, I have no problem with this information you're telling me. Like, all of this seems exactly like what I expect, and I'm happy with that.
Well, just game announcements too. What more could you ask for?
Yeah. Just the only reason I remember GTA 5 is just because for me that was just like one of those like, yeah, okay, GTA on a fucking Nintendo console, that's worth remembering.
Maybe the first one. It's like, what was that one on the
NES.
DS?
It was one on the DS?
There's two. There was Chinatown Wars. Also the GBA. Grand Theft Auto 1 or 2.
Okay, it would be the first time on
Game Boy Advanced.
On a major Nintendo console, then, I guess.
Well, the DS, screw you, right? It was Chinatown Wars was
home
on
console.
The DS. I'm pretty sure it's because the GameCube couldn't run the GTA games at the time.
And I think at that point, like, the precedent had been... Well, I mean, partially, too, that there was, like, a certain Nintendo not wanting to touch adult games.
Yeah, they say that, but there's some pretty raunchy games in the GameCube era.
Yeah.
Some pretty edgy games.
Yeah, that's true.
But you know, also you just said GTA on the NES, that was never a thing. It was on the PS1, was the first Grand Theft Auto game.
No, the old GTAs were the top-down ones.
Yeah, it was on PS1. PS1 and PC.
There was also on the Nintendos.
Nope.
Wasn't they?
Nope. Just PS1 and PC. In fact, I'll Google it now as you play this generic-ass game.
Yeah.
For sure it was like 1995 or 6. 97.
Okay.
But yeah, they are top-down in 2D. But to be fair, the PS2 did have a lot of... Also did that thing where it's kind of like pseudo-3D because like the buildings were 3D models.
Were they?
Yeah, but then everything else was 2D. Really bizarre game. Actually, I pirated the Dreamcast version because I was really curious about how those games were. They're really bizarre. I don't know if I like them. I feel like it was a good idea for them to get away from that.
Well, I mean, clearly. It's worked out for them super well.
Yeah, GTA 5 is actually one of the only GTA games I haven't actually gone back to since I completed it. Because at this point, I don't think it's a spoiler. At the end of the game, you can choose to either have one of the specific party members killed, or none of them die. But the way it's phrased makes it seem like either all of them die or one of them dies, and after I killed off one of the main characters, not knowing that's how the game would end, I got really discouraged and never went back to it, even on all those side missions. Because the thing that's annoying is that there are certain side missions that are tied to certain characters, but obviously if they get killed off...
So who did you kill?
I killed Trevor.
Which one's Trevor?
He's the really weird, sketchy guy.
Okay.
Well, they're all weird and sketchy, but he's the one who's like really weird and very sexual and aggressive.
The bald guy?
Yeah, who's clearly a raging alcoholic.
Yeah. Isn't he supposed to look a lot like his voice actor? Weren't they all supposed to look like their voice actors?
I can believe it. You know, GTA 5, really good game, and I think...
Alright, I think I'm willing to...
Are you bored already?
Yeah, this is... So the best way I could put it is there's nothing wrong with it, but there's not enough right with it either.
Yeah.
Alright, folks, thanks for watching us pretty much use this as a backdrop for a dumb conversations.
It's a good game to drown out.
Oh yeah. Anyway, folks, we'll see you next game when we find something hopefully better.
See you later.
Bye.